Hello everybody, how are you? We hope that you're well. Mr. Miller watched the videos that we produced on preparations, items for preparations, items to hoard, items to have, those two series. And he contacted me saying, I know that you have spoken about food production in the past, but you should also have spoken about it in that series of videos. He reminded me that the seed that is used for crops can only be used once. In other words, it is genetically modified so that when the farmers use it, they can't then keep a portion of the fruit. Let's say they grow maize, mealies, from seed that they buy from Monsanto or DeKalb or whoever. They grow a crop. They can't keep a portion of that crop for the next season's seed. And that's intentional, so that they have to go back and back and back to the seed people. So although the area into which we are going is an area with a lot of crop farming, irrigated by groundwater or irrigated by rivers, we will have a crisis of crops, of vegetables, of fruits, of such things. It's inevitable. And we must be prepared to take up the slack of that. Besides which, we may go at a time when the crops are not yet off the lands, and you may not have very much food. Therefore, the one thing that we must recommend very, very strongly is this. This is one example of a few that you can obtain in South Africa, organic type seeds or heirloom seeds, moedersaad. There are various names. Some are more correct and more accurate than others. This comes from a company called organicseeds.co.za. There are other companies. We're not saying that you must use this company, but this is somebody with whom we've dealt. And this particular pack was designed specifically for Suidlanders by the owner of this company, Mark Roach. Similar name to mine, not the same. R-O-A-C-H is his surname. Okie dokes. So this pack can be obtained from www.organicseeds.co.za. If you go onto that website, go to the left-hand strip of tabs or links, go to the bottom, and there they have, I can't remember the description, but it's very easy to recognize, and you'll find the Family Survival Seed Pack. Family Survival Seed Pack is what Mark Roach put together for Suidlanders specifically, taking into account the region into which we are going, the temperatures in the region, the seasonal changes in the region, the amount of rainfall in the region, and so on. And here we have 63 types of seed, 3,655 seeds in 5 categories. The smallest category is what he calls other. It's I won't go through all of them. Golden Bantam sweet corn and Cape gooseberry. Right, that's the one category. The next category is so that has 2 types, just those 2. The next category is herbs. There are 11 types of herbs. They have 770 seeds altogether. Basil, rocket, coriander, celery, lemon balm, parsley, chives, sage, thyme, etc., nigella. Okay, then we have roots, 10 different types: beetroot, carrot, onion, radish, turnip, leek, 1,050 seeds. Then fruits, as I said, I won't go through everything. There are 25 different types of fruits, and they have 520 seeds altogether. So they're beans, peas, tomatoes, pepper, eggplant, brinjal to you and me, cucumber, zucchini, etc., etc., etc. And then we have greens, 15 types, 1,210 seeds. Broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, chard, marroch, spinach, kale, bok choy, mustard greens, kohlrabi, lettuce. Many of these things I've never tasted in my life, but apparently they are those items best suited to our conditions. In fact, I was initially not very convinced by what Mark had put together, or some of the items. And I cross-questioned him, and I'll tell you what, about halfway through I gave up. He really knows what he's talking about. He did terrific research for Sakelanders, and he's put together a package which, although it may seem unusual to you and me, is in fact the superior option. For example, the tomato plants are plants that generate with least water in the hottest conditions the highest proportion of fruit. Quite amazing, actually quite interesting. So, I urge you to take heed of Mr. Miller's cautionary note on this matter. We must have the capacity to produce food, not merely to harvest it and consume it, but to produce it. Please, ladies and gentlemen, be cognizant of this vital need. It doesn't help that you arrive there in a Pajero with 4 licensed firearms and 1,000 liters of spare fuel and 6 weeks or 3 months of food, and after 3 months you can do nothing for yourself, and you're in great difficulty from the beginning. I'll add a little cautionary or a little appendix on a slightly different note. I've recently bought myself some chickens. I have no ambitions of becoming a chicken farmer. I'm not sure that I have the talent or the inclination for it. However, it seems like the right thing to do at this very tricky point in time. Now, that might not be feasible for you. It might not be feasible for you to keep chickens in the back garden of your house in a suburb of Pretoria. Fair enough. It may not even be feasible for you, if you could keep them, to bring them down. And you may have nowhere to put them down here. We understand that. But it's worth thinking about the need for us to endeavor to build, as far as feasibly possible, whatever capacity we can to sustain ourselves. I've also just bought a small little herd of goats for the same purpose. I'm not sure that I can cope with a bunch of boerbokke, breaking through fences and running away and causing endless trouble. But it seems now worth the attempt. And I got them for for free, practically for free. So why not? And if I can't cope, if I can't manage, I can get rid of them after a while. Maybe this will stimulate you to think of possibilities that exist for you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.